Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Hi, good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this morning. We're Thanksgiving week. We have a lot to be thankful for. We'll be talking about that during the week, but let's get started now with our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center. For all your educational and vocational and technical needs, run by Tom P. Haney Vocational School on Highway 77 and Baldwin Road. The weather right now is foggy. You're going to have fog throughout the Panhandle, especially around Mariana. Real thick fog up there and a pretty good fog here on the coast. 64 degrees here in Panama City, 62 Mariana, 62 Apalachicola, and 63 over at Grayton Beach. High today. Well, we're getting low 80s, around 81, and low tonight will be about where it is now, about 61, and water temperature remains at 72. Wednesday, they're calling for some rain this coming Wednesday, about a 60% chance, and maybe 20% tomorrow. But I don't know about you, but we had some weird weather this weekend. I mean, we didn't have any sun. It wasn't forecast for the kind of weather we had. It drizzled off and on in my house all weekend, and the wind would blow, then it would stop, then it would drizzle, and it was just messed up. And I looked on the radar; it's like one little train of green, and it was right over Bay County. It seemed like so. Hopefully, that's not going to get on out of here today. But it was a tough weekend for getting stuff done outdoors. Boating forecast: winds out of southeast of 5 to 12, seas 1 to 3, and a light chop on protected waters. The river readings: we do have a little bit of action on Apalachicola finally. We're going to look at a 1.7 this morning. It's rising, folks. River rising, and maybe by Wednesday it's going to get 2.8 by Wednesday. So that's good news right there for the Apalachicola River. The Choctawhatchee at Caryville, it's at 0.6, and it's going to stay about at 0.6 the rest of this week, and maybe even drop out for the weekend. So be aware of that. I really like to see that water rising though in Apalachicola. That's just good for everybody. All right, now let's take a look at our Carl Vernon Marine Constructions tide chart. Today is Monday the 21st. Don't have a lot of tides, but go ahead and look on the weekend. We've got some great tides coming up Thanksgiving weekend. Right now, low tide's at 227, and high tide is this afternoon at 554. It's getting better as the week progresses, so great weekend of tides coming up. Okay, every Monday morning, we call Panama City Beach Pier. Talk to Carrie out there and get a live fishing report from Panama City Beach Pier. Brought to us by Bugaway Pest Control at Rick Russell's company at Panama City Beach. Good morning, Carrie.
Good morning.
How's it going today?
Doing good, doing good.
What's going on out there?
Well, we've had some, rainy weather, but it hadn't been real cold, but they're still catching some fish. There's been some whiting and lots of bonita. And, there's been some mullet caught. A few kings were caught earlier in the week, and some redfish.
And you
we're
said
looking for a good week this week.
You said those bonita are still out there. That's interesting. They've been out there about 3 or 4 or 5 days, haven't they?
Yeah, they've been steady. They've been catching quite a few of them. And they're always fun to catch.
They are a lot of fun to catch, and we're probably on the tail end of the king run. You think?
Yeah. If they could be some caught, the water temperature is 66. That's pretty cold for them. So they, I can't. I've been saying no more kings, but I've been wrong. So I expect it's over with, but that don't. They still could be a few caught.
Yeah, that's right. And the good thing to take its place though, these whitings start coming in when the weather cools off.
Oh yeah, they'll be.
Great.
And they bonita will be out there all the time anyway. So
yeah,
there'll be something to catch: redfish, whiting, flounder.
All right, Garrett, thank you so much, buddy.
Come see us.
All right, good report there. Panama City Beach Pier. We'll take our first break and be back with our special guest.
We are so lucky to live in North Florida. We have some of the best fresh and saltwater fishing in the world. My biggest problem is not catching fish, but trying to decide what kind of fish I want to catch. No matter what I'm after, I always stop at Sunjammers Water Sports first. They have just what I need: rods and reels, line, tackle, and most important, live bait. Yes, sir, we sure are lucky.
Panama Panama City living is simply better without glasses. The Eye Center of North Florida offers the most advanced cataract surgery using lifestyle lens implants, which allow you to see all distances glasses-free. Our surgeons perform this quick and painless procedure at our accredited surgery center. When it comes to your vision, trust your local experts in surgical eye care. The Eye Center of North Florida.
9 doctors, 1 vision, yours.
Bill Kramer Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC is Panama City's exclusive full-line dealership. Built on a 45-year foundation of trust and total customer satisfaction in all departments, including our huge pre-owned department, where we'll pay top dollar for your current automobile as a trade-in, or we'll place your vehicle on our lot and help you sell it. At Bill Kramer Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. 4 decades, 3 generations, 1 tradition.
Hi, I'm Paul Flagg with Professional Fiberglass and Marine Service. We offer all types of boat repair, fiberglass work, bottom painting, detailing, buffing. If your gel coat's looking dull, we can get that boat looking good for you again. We also offer a pickup and delivery service, and we have trailers that you can use if we are going to work on your boat, and we can come and get your boat for you. We can be reached at 850-960-9054, or you can reach us on the web at profiberglassmarine.com.
All right, welcome back. Good morning, Kurt Davis.
Good morning, Winston. Good to see you.
Good friend of mine, Kurt Davis, and we're going to talk about duck hunting, folks. We have a duck season open Saturday morning. I used to do a lot of duck hunting the last few years. It seemed like I just haven't found time to do it, but old Kurt's been hanging in there with him. And Kurt, I know you've got advantage of living on Deer Point Lake, and you've been doing it quite a while. So let's get started. You went Saturday morning, of course.
Well, Saturday we had some technical difficulties, so we listened to everybody else shoot at them.
Listen, I'm on it. I'm right below Deer Point Dam there on North Bay, and I could hear. And of course, I get a kick out of it. It wakes me up. It sounded like a war. It was a good shoot Saturday morning.
There was a lot of steel getting thrown into the air. There's no doubt about that.
Yes, sir. But before we get into all that, you and I were talking. Safety is of paramount importance. So.
Absolutely. When you get in a boat, everything comes more confined. I think back to, I think it was last year, an incident in South Florida where a father accidentally shot his son.
Yeah.
Loading that gun in a boat, and you get so tight like that, it's just very, very important that you be extra safe like that. It's easy to get in a hurry when a big flock of birds come by you.
That's
and you throw your gun up and you just accidentally squeeze the trigger off. And so just be really, really careful out there when you're moving about in a boat. And of course, falling overboard is a big risk. Don't be afraid to put that life jacket on.
Yeah.
Once you get still out there, if you want to, they got those now that you can put on all the time.
Oh, I know.
That'll inflate as soon as you hit the water, and they're comfortable. We fish with them. Me and one of my fishing buddies fish with them quite a bit, and my wife wears one all the time.
Yeah, that's good.
That way, if you fall over, it inflates, and you just don't even know you've got it on. So just be real, real safe when you're out there on that water.
So we're going to talk about, we know about being safe, and it's so important. So now, the big thing I keep saying I used to, but scouting. You go out and scout. You just before the season, and you on Deer Point Lake, and I know about 2 weeks ago you texted me. You said the ducks are here, and tell us what all happened a couple weeks ago and when they come in at Deer Point.
We start getting these cold fronts come through out of the north. Of course, our first wave is going to be the coots.
Yep.
And you can pretty much gauge what's going on by the coots. And about 2 weeks ago, there was more coots, and you couldn't hardly run your boat without almost running over some of them. There was so many. Of course, now we've had a few that have flown out because we get those that migrate through and land, and then the next cold front comes through, they're going to fly out. But then the ducks will follow them shortly after. And about 2 weeks ago, maybe a little less than 2 weeks ago, I had my grandson out with me, and we saw more birds that day flying than we've seen in weeks. And so I think this year is sizing up to be a really, really good duck season. If we get out there and scout and start looking around, of course, you can't just run out there and get on a spot and expect, the birds are going to fly in over there on top of you. It takes a little bit of work on Deer Point to get out there and find them.
But now you're on the northern end of the lake and all.
Right.
And at Bow Georgia area, the whole lake was just full of hunters, like I said. But one advantage of having that many good hunters, it keeps them flying.
Flash will keep them in the air. Now, there's no doubt about that. I see a lot of times I sit with my binoculars with me on the boat all the time, and I'm watching. I pretty well gauge where people are at, because I don't want to rain down any shot on them, and I don't want to get rain down on myself, so I try to keep a good view about where everybody's at. And I see a lot of times, I see some shots, we were talking yesterday on the phone, I see some shots and I'm thinking, my Lord, they got their oxygen mask on and they're still shooting at them. Of course, now Ronnie Groom loves that, you know, because he's selling more shot shells.
That's right. Ronnie tells you to shoot them high, but that is right. You know, when they're up there so high, you usually tell when you got a young duck hunter out there, and they'll just boom, boom, boom when they see them come in the sight. But you got to wait till they get in.
Let them get in there about that 45 yards. That's still a pretty good ways out. Let them get in that area so you can make a good shot on them and you can put them down and you're not winging a bird and losing a bird. That to me, that's one of the worst things in the world, is to lose something that you're trying to harvest.
I know, and you brought a lot of good stuff. And I said one of the first things I noticed you brought in this morning, Kurt, is that thermos.
Absolutely.
Nothing on a cold morning.
The most important thing you can have on your boat is your thermos.
It is. That coffee or hot chocolate, whatever you have, tastes, when it's out there, it just tastes better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Got a buddy with you on the boat. And of course, now try to carry somebody with you when you can. Don't get out there by yourself. Go with a buddy system. Carry your thermos. It's unlike deer hunting. You can sit there and talk.
Yeah. Well,
drink a cup of coffee.
What we do, we get out there, we'd all set up our decoys, the deer and dark and all, and then get set back in, and that's when we had our coffee right before the break of day, before they came in.
Absolutely.
And we got all juiced up. We're going to show you got some duck calls here you're going to really like. So let's take this break, and we'll be right back.
Harold Milling Company, rough and tough dog food. Harold Milling Company builds it. They build hog feed. They build dairy feed. They make chicken feed. They have specialty feeds for rabbits. If you got a worm farm, grandmother used to have a worm farm. Look at the Harold Milling Company. You want to go down and get you, the dog's not running anymore. It's all over with. You want to get that 16% and drop down from the 26% protein. You don't want over to get fat. Harold Milling Company, you can buy at almost any feed store in the Panama City area.
Captain's Cove Marina, designed with fishermen in mind. Easy access to the best fishing along Florida's Forgotten Coast. Deep sea fishing, fly fishing from a kayak, cruising endless miles of bayous, bays, and the intercoastal waterway. Count on the captain's crew to work hard to make your day on the water the best ever. Captain's Cove Marina, 1617 Grouper Avenue, Port St. Joe, 850-227-3357.
Panama City Beach is known as one of the top dive destinations in Florida. Divers Den offers daily dive charters that can accommodate up to 13 divers. Our boat captain is U.S. Coast Guard certified and a PADI dive instructor. We have trained professionals who offer a variety of scuba certifications. Come see us at our 2 locations on Thomas Drive and Timber Parkway. When you stop by Blue Water Outriggers, you will find everything for your outdoor adventure. Stock up on all your favorite brands and shop for some of the latest outdoor gear and accessories. You can also shop online and have your orders delivered straight to your home. Our flagship store is nestled right off of Highway 98 in the Port City Shopping Center, just steps away from the Port St. Joe Marina. You will love our selection, our prices, and our friendly service.
Welcome back. Glad you're with us on this Monday morning. Sitting here with a good friend of mine, Kurt Davis, an avid duck hunter, and he's right on top of things. We're talking about a season now. We're in that early phase of the season. It's from November 19th through 27th, and I always used to love this early season, and then the second phase opens up December 10th through January 29th. And you got a good idea. You bring the stuff on the boat with you.
Absolutely. These are not the ones I have on the boat with me, but I carry the actual waterfowl coot season regulations on the boat with me. And I also have one of the most important things, which is the sunrise-sunset times. If you're not careful, that sunset time will get you in trouble if you're not real careful.
Yeah,
it's sunset. It's not 30 minutes after like we can deer hunt. It's sunset, and it's a specific time. And
so you have the whole month sunset on there.
Yes, sir. All the way through.
And sunrise too, because some of them will...
sunrise, and sunset. Keep those close to you, because like I said, unlike deer season. When it's time to cut off, it's time to cut off, and you need to unload that gun and start heading back towards the hill.
You know, you brought some duck calls, Kurt, and I used to have a lot of old mallard calls, and we couldn't find you couldn't find a wood duck call. Of course, most of our ducks were wood ducks, and we never could find a call. But now they have some really good wood duck calls. So.
Absolutely, they made strides. One of the most sought after ducks, really, is one of the wood ducks because it's one of the prettiest ducks. It's one of the most beautiful ducks. I brought a wood duck with decoy with me so that some of those that don't know what they look like. One of the most colorful birds out there as far as the plumage around the head on the male duck. But finding a wood duck call is very, very tough. Of course, can we mention manufacturers?
Sure,
I guess Primo's.
Sure.
Primo makes one of the few that's out. This one here is got a really good sound. It's really loud. But if you've ever really sat during your scouting time and listened to a wood duck, the only time a wood duck's really going to sing is when he's coming off the water or just before he lands. When they're flying, you'll hear a little squeal every once in a while when they're flying, but they don't really make a whole lot of noise. Now, they'll talk when they're on the water back and forth, keeping track with each other, but I carry this one with me, and then I keep a double reed duck call with me just in case, because you get some pintails and we get some, of course, some ring nets with us and some canvasbacks. We don't get quite as many canvasbacks. I hadn't seen the last couple of years as many as I had in years before.
Yeah, we used to get a bunch of them, and we don't see many of them. Yeah.
And then last year, in some of my searching, trying to find something that was a better sounding wood duck call, I ran across this little call here. I don't know if you can see it real good, but there's not a whole lot to it. But it's made out of Mississippi. It's called Bay's Call. It's just B-A-Y-S calls. You can go online and find them. Nobody in town sells them that I've been able to find. But this was one of the most realistic wood duck calls I've been able to find. And the thing I like about it is because of the convenience. You can just throw it in your mouth, and you can still shoulder your gun and make shots and make a call at the same time, where unlike here, you're going to have to keep this call in your hand when you're making the calls. And it's probably one of the best sounding wood duck calls I have found.
That's a nice looking one. And that's the key to it. And you know, when they're coming in, you want to be able to have that gun ready when they're coming in.
Absolutely, absolutely.
They're going to see their eyesight is unbelievable.
I wonder sometimes how they can fly. Because if you're really looking at them, their head's always bobbing and weaving, and you're wondering, how in the world can that bird know where he's going? But they're very astute at what's going on, and they're watching and where you're at.
Any little movement whatsoever, move your hand or something, and they're going. And also what always amazed me, even the years I did it, was the speed. Sometimes they're coming in.
And they just fall like a rock, too. Once they land, they're just down, and like a mallard is going to cut those wings back and kind of roll in when they land and kind of come in tail first and land. Wood duck doesn't do that. They'll just almost set down in the water. Of course, they vary, different. You know, people see them do different things. Ducks are different.
Okay, now let's talk about boats. And you run the whole gamut like I have. You've had a canoe, and now you built your duck boat. So tell us about that.
Yeah, we built one last year off a plan, and it's really a modified Piro is what it is. It's real flat on the bottom, probably draft out about 2 inches of water, but you can paddle the thing anywhere. It's 13 feet long. You got enough room up front to where you can put decoys up. You even got enough room. I got a black lab. It's a smaller black lab, but I can put Daisy in the boat with me. Of course, I don't use her on Deer Point Lake. There's just too many alligators in Deer Point Lake, and so I don't put her in the boat with me except during scouting. I carry her with me, and sometimes I'll let her just stay in the boat with me when I take my bigger boat. But it's a nice little boat. They're easy to build. I think. Not taking anything away from boat manufacturers, because we want to sell boats, but you can build that boat for probably about $150.
Wow.
And get just about anywhere you want to go in it.
And you know, you were telling me you live on the north part of the lake, and you look down the lake and see a lot of different actions and all. Most of these guys are coming in with their own blinds, or why are most of them set up now?
Most of them are because, you know, permanent blinds are not legal anymore.
Right.
You can't have a permanent blind. Of course, like most guys do, they get squatters' rights. You know, they get in an area, they think that's their area and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's true. I kind of get that way sometimes on some of my spots. But they carry most of their equipment in with them, carried in, carried out. One thing I would like to mention is about decoy sets. This is not Arkansas. It's not Mississippi. So now in the bay, it's different. I want to learn a little bit more about the bay hunting, how we got on our birds out there. I hadn't got a chance to do that. But going out and setting 150 decoys is not doing you a whole lot of benefit. If you watch the birds during your preseason and your scouting, they're going to be in groups of 8 to 10, sometimes 4 to 5. And to go up there and set out 100 decoys and take an hour setting them out and an hour taking them in is really a waste. Set them up in small little groups. Take some of your ringnecks and throw them in with your wood ducks. Put 4 or 5 over here, 3 or 4 over there, and just kind of scatter them about, because they're not going to come in those big waves like they do out in the Midwest.
Right. And it's important too that they also called a scaup.
That's a scaup. Yeah.
This is a pretty prevalent duck up there.
Yes, we're seeing a lot more of these. Of course, this year I shot my first pintail off Deer Point.
You did?
Yeah, it was a little juvenile bird, but it was unique to see him come in. He come right in and almost landed right smack dab in the boat with me. He flew right over the top of me and landed, and I took him just before he hit the water.
When we're talking about big spread, on the big spreads, we'd make like a letter C or letter V, and then try to always get them to come in the center there.
In the center of it. That's right.
Like I say, but in a small lake, and of course Lake Seminole is a big lake, and you can put those big spreads out there Lake Seminole.
Yes, you can.
There's some guides over there to do that.
Well, you get more of the canvasback, and canvasback's going to be a lot more in a group. They're not going. There's going to be more of them in a flock when they fly. Where I think the other night we sitting there watching. Majority of the birds that flew over us were in the numbers of 4 to 5 to 8. I think there was a few 10, 12 birds in there, but they're small groups. Unlike the skies that just open up out in the Midwest, you're not going to get that here.
Okay, let's take our final break, come back with some good pictures also.
How many features can Kubota pack into a compact tractor? How about a quick attach front loader, a heavy-duty mid-mount mower, a powerful backhoe, cruise control, deluxe seat, even an air-conditioned cab, the first in its class. With so many features, it's easy to see yourself in one or 2 of these tractors. The Kubota B-Series. You gotta see this for yourself.
See and save on all Kubota tractors and equipment at Sowell Tractor today.
The greatest investment we can all make is in the lives of our children and grandchildren.
To help you invest for retirement, handle your IRA rollover, protect your family with life or long-term care insurance, call my dad for an appointment at his new office on Wilson Avenue behind Lowe's. And he'll give you a copy of his most recent book, 7 Steps to Serious Money. For free! Walter Woodrick, your serious money advisor!
My name's Captain Rick Corley. I'm a SAMS accredited Marine Surveyor, NAM certified Marine Surveyor, and IAME certified Marine Investigator. Been surveying since 1969. Was taught by my father, who is the oldest, longest practicing Marine Surveyor in the world. We do all types of survey, commercial or pleasure. Steel, aluminum, fiberglass, wood, makes no difference. Give us a call at 850-527-5287 or visit us online. We'd appreciate your visits.
When you think of a successful hunting season, 2 things come to mind: Browning and C&G Sporting Goods. Browning is the best there is, and C&G Sporting Goods is your factory direct, full-line Browning dealer. C&G stocks Browning guns, camo, knives, scopes, gun safes, bows, and much more, including hunting and fishing license. Look over the new Browning BAR camo short right and X-Bolt rifles. Why pay good money for anything less than a Browning? Browning and C&G, the best there is. Home of the experts.
Get dark,
Okay.
you know.
All right, welcome back. We're glad you're watching the show this morning. Let's take a look at Express Lane Fishing Game forecast for today. Those ducks going to be flying. We're looking at 8:03 to 10:03 this morning, and this afternoon from 6:37 to 8:37. 6:37, 8:37 night. Brought to us by Express Lane, American owned and American operated. Let's throw in one before we get into the back to the ducks and all. Great picture here. Is that going to work, Jeff? Let me see. John Parker Harbison. I know John Parker's mom and dad, Matt and Minta Harbison. They're a little boy. They got 2 little boys. They love to fish. But isn't this a great picture of a little kid throwing a cast net? John Parker there. They live down in the Cove, and he's having a great time. Good picture there, Minta. Thank you for sharing that with us.
He makes me look bad.
He's good, isn't he, little kid? All right, I know you like me. You like all kind of outdoor stuff. You bass fish a lot and all, but we're talking about duck hunting this morning, and you're all into it now. And we're talking about one of your goals is to go to Arkansas. And
I think that's about any duck hunter's dream. Get to go out there and hunt those rice fields and all. And
to the Mecca and all. But
absolutely.
What size shot, Kurt, do you use on Deer Point?
I use majority of the time, I'm kind of different. I like to close-in shots, so I'll use a larger shot. So I like to, if I can find them, they're hard to find sometimes, in a 3.5-inch number 3s.
Okay.
That's a pretty nice size shot.
Yeah.
You know, but I like to, I don't know, I just kind of like to see them right in my face and take the shot, so I don't need the big spread that you get with the smaller shots. Now, a number 6, number 4 to a number 6 is a good size to use. You use it in a high brass, something that's really powerful. Reach on out there. I don't like to make a lot of shots because the shells have gotten so expensive, you know. So.
Well, I always used the number 5. I used to be stuck on number 5 and all, but you know, they're all kind of, we're talking about Deer Point Lake, but you know, Lake Seminole is a great duck hunting area.
Absolutely.
And all these tributary creeks that go into Choctawhatchee, go into Apalachicola, it's hard to hunt the big river because of the fishermen and all, and it's not safe, but get up in these creeks and sloughs and all is great, and of course these sandhill ponds are great for wood ducks and all, and the marshlands around Apalachicola Bay. The northern part is excellent hunting too.
If we had the agriculture like they do out west, we'd have the birds like they have them out west. Because we have the water, we have the wetlands that are here that'll bring them in, and this eastern flyway is becoming more and more and more that way as those particular wetlands are going away up north. They're continuing to come this way. But it's still some great bird hunting, just to have a lot of good time. Get out there and go. Don't waste a minute. Go have a good time.
Yeah, and you know, we have these big flocks. I know West Bay, we used to get this big old flock. I've studied it, that flock. I saw that flock first in 1971. And it used to be like about, I'd count around 1,500 canvasbacks. Then it dwindled down to less than 1,000. I would actually, you know, not count them individually, but pretty well estimated. And now I think it's less than ever. And I want to see them like every other year or so now. But it's the same. Right. I know it's that same flight that's coming through since 30, 40 years.
Absolutely.
But it's down to around 100 now.
There's not many. That area up in there is still real big. Of course, I keep my binoculars on the boat and I watch off in a distance, and I'm watching where those birds are falling in.
You're doing a lot of studying, which is really good, and you're able to do that and all. And have you seen any of the big flocks yet, other than the?
Not any really. I've seen them when they come together. They'll come up in different areas, and they'll tend to merge over there in that Bayou George area. That area still holds a lot of birds over in that area, and they'll tend to come up in different areas, merge together, and then fly out together.
And the thing about duck hunting too, you're gonna hunt it pretty hard that first hour or two, and then pretty well it's over with for the most part.
Crack of dawn, they're coming off the water, they're going to where they're going, and it's over with. Just about that quick.
So you're not gonna spend all day out there hunting and all that, but you got to get out there early and do it.
Absolutely.
Well, Kurt, I appreciate you coming on, buddy.
Enjoyed it. I thank you. Thanks for letting me come.
And send us some pictures and all. We'll stay in contact. He's good about texting them and all, and telling me the ducks are in and all. So, folks, hope you enjoyed today's show. You know, Friday we had bear hunting, today duck hunting. Tomorrow, got a great show lined up, and Thanksgiving coming up. But thank you all for watching the show, and do something good for somebody today. God bless.
Amen.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.